pick it up. I'm so sick of it. Still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and games. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways that so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I don't know what's up with this world, with these men that act like boys, boys that wanna be girls, girls that wanna be boys, and women that act like girls. What's wrong with ya? No, I can't get along with ya. That's why I wrote this song for ya. I hope our prayers make it to the good Lord for ya. 'Cause you know I break the law for ya. Yeah, you know I risk it all for ya. But can't get the thing after everything that I offered ya. Guess I must be off to ya. That's what them demons say when they be talking to ya. Guess that's why I can't get a ring and you won't answer me no more calling ya.
I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it. Still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and games. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways that so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I am like something you never had before. One dose of this, you'll be back for more. That's for sure. What you laughing for? The last thing I'm finna be is the last resort. I'm so not put the back and forth. I jump straight to conclusions and I'm out the door. Drop these ends, get you a real one. You always stay in touch with who ain't feeling ya. I don't even know why you deal with them, 'cause you ain't getting back what you're giving them. I hate to burst your bubble, it's full of helium, but it ain't healing ya. You never really broke my heart, you just hurt my feelings. And what I learned from this is, if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. Said if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. Shh. I'm done calling you. 'Cause you won't pick it up. 'Cause you don't give up. I'm so sick, I'm done. I'm done calling you. You just pay kissy face. Selfish bird telling me to find a way.
Les Nobodies presents Unica Monet's first children's book, Show and Tell. Find out what happens when a teacher uses her class's show and tell time to give each student the opportunity to share some facts about the culture where they're from. Les Nobodies presents Unica Monet's first children's book, Show and Tell. Find out what happens when a teacher uses her class's show and tell time to give each student the opportunity. Les Nobodies presents Unica Monet's first children's book, Show and Tell. Find out what happens when a teacher uses her class's show and tell time to give each student the opportunity to share some facts about the culture where they're from. Read with your children and discover that it is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength.
I am intentional. I am intentional. Yes, I'm invincible. I am intentional. I am intentional. I am intentional. I am the one. Yes, I'm invincible. I am intentional. I am the one. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am original. I am the one. I have ambition. I am consistent. People don't cross me without my permission. I am the one. I am the one. I am the one. I am the one. I am intentional. I am intentional. I am the one. Listen, people don't cross me without my permission. I am the one. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am the one. Cross me without my permission. I am the one. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am original. I am the one. My journey is it. My journey is it. No competition. Cross me without my permission. I am grateful for all I think. If I am unique, I am complete. I am everything that I wish to see. I am unique. I am unique. I am unique. I am complete. I am everything that I wish to see. I am unique.
Peace, y'all. Welcome to the Planetary Forecast for October 3rd to the 10th, 2022. I am super duper hyped to be here. I am dealing with Murphy's Law, as you can see, with all the glitching that's going. So, we're gonna, I'm being tested in my mutable energy, but I already told y'all about that last week, right? When we talked about how the moon was starting in Libra season and making its way to Capricorn season, which is today. The moon is sitting in Capricorn, and all the things that I've been trying to plant and things and my consistency and all that stuff is being tested and exercised today. So I've been, fighting a really tough internal battle, and I'm a win materialistically wise. We'll see how far I get emotionally and mentally. But yeah, so thank you guys for tapping into the Planetary Forecast. I did my notes a little different this time around, and I want to see how well they go. Like, I'm kind of excited about this. We'll see how far it goes. As you guys can see, I'm dealing with some tech difficulties, so like, I don't know why. It's like a shortage or something that's happening. Oh my gosh, I just did it. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I feel like you guys can hear me, so that's fun. Yeah, so I'm trying to wing this. Just bear with me for a few seconds, because what might happen this episode, instead of you guys seeing my lovely face, you guys may just have to stare at my screen while you listen to my voice. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with it. Fuck it. The way the thing is moving, it seems like you guys can hear me. So I'm just gonna go off. So hold on. Let's go here. All right. So hold on one second. I'm a come back. Hold on, because this for real. Hold on, let's listen to some positive vibes real quick so I can get my life together.
I am abundant. I bring to existence all that I want, and I done tapped into the God in me. Cut my locks off and switched up the vibe in me. Like how I manifest within, how I choose to defend. Who I label my friends, how I make amends. Cause I'm choosing laughter, it's peace that I'm after. I abracadabra, then poof, chakras blast off. My soul take this cast off, projection surpass me. Obsidian protection in case this trip lasts long. I see with 3 eyes, that's why my crown headstrong. Corona is viral to spirits living dead wrong
I just
vibration.
wanna chill around positive vibes. Nothing negative, it will fuck up my vibe. I just wanna sit back and chill and just sip wine. I came from a dark place, now I'm living in light. Came from a dark place, yeah, now I'm doing with the light. Yeah, now I'm like making moves. Yeah, I be always on the flights. Yeah, I be on a mission for the bag nowadays. Why these niggas hating on a nigga nowadays? I've been on a mission with the light nowadays. I ain't fucking with the darkness nowadays.
Yeah, we still dealing with the same thing. All right. So yeah, y'all just gonna have to listen to me. And you know, look at my photos while you're listening to me talking. That's fun, right? All right, cool. So as far as like, so what I like to do is I like to just really like go over where the planets are in relation to like where they're at in like people's chakras and stuff like that. So I wanted my notes to kind of I guess reflect that, if you will. So if you guys like, you know, feel like camel walking with me this episode while I wing it out, you know, be patient with me and stuff. We can get through this. So yeah. I want to start with the root chakra, okay? Our root chakra is ruled by Saturn. And the root chakra is like all about like groundedness, being disciplined, having some level of order, all those fun things. All of that is root chakra energy. Root chakra essentially is like your gate. Like when we're dealing with like your natal chart, the root chakra is usually like your gate at the door. You know, telling people if they can or cannot get into your space. Really. A lot of people you'll see that lack in, you know, root chakra energy, they kind of just like let any and everybody into their space. They don't really have much regard or much like, you know, order. And it's not just like people, it's also places, things, experiences, situations. When there's not a celestial body at that root chakra creating like a certain kind of like energy, you know, like weaving, if you will, what happens is some people either have a tendency to let any and everybody in their space, and then some people have a tendency to be like super duper like guarded, like they don't let anybody in. So it's either one or the other. A lot of imbalancing going on and stuff like that. So that's what usually happens when there's no energy in the root chakra. Like I said, the root chakra is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is actually in Aquarius energy right now in the 6th house. And that's really cool because as we get into, you know, what zodiac energies rule the root chakra, not only does Saturn rule the root chakra, but the feminine side of your root chakra is ruled by Aquarius, and the masculine side of your root chakra is ruled by Capricorn. Okay, so let's start off with the feminine side of your root chakra. The feminine side of your root chakra being ruled by Aquarius. So when we think of feminine energy, what do we think about? We think about intuition, introvertedness, going inward, you know, all things inward, intuition and things like that. your divine feminine energy is really like who you are at your most comfortable self. Who are you at your most comfortable self? And you know, at our most comfortable self, it's usually like I'm dealing with feminine energy right now that I speak of. And when we speak on like women walking in their feminine energy, it's that woman at her most comfortable self that you want her to walk in. Yeah, Ashe. Okay. So when you want a woman to walk in her divine feminine energy, you essentially want her to have her guard down. Okay. You don't you don't want her to be, how a cat, when a cat is ready to fuck some shit up and the hairs is going up on their back and they don't, that's not what you are at feminine, at a feminine vibe. You're not in that. You're relaxed. You're laxed, your eyeballs are blinking slow and you're yawning and stretching and comfortable and comfortable. And that's why like people say, oh, I want my, partner, my female partner in her divine feminine, because you want her laxed. You don't want her on guard all the time. A cat on guard all the time is not a fun energy to be around. You can't pet the cat. You can't feed the cat. You can't really do too much with this cat, okay? Because this cat is ready to throw hands like at all times. Like it's just no comfort zone here. There's nothing you can do to comfort this cat. So that's just my analogy for feminine energy. Now let's get back to the fact that Aquarius is ruling the root chakra. Aquarius energy is all about is that revolutionary energy. Okay, you have to have a law inside of yourself. You have to have a order, a discipline inside of self, right? And that's where Aquarius energy is. It's like that divine feminine, that comfort self. Where is your root chakra at your comfort self? Okay. What's the social detachments and reattachments? Where's your social transmutation power at within self? Okay. So when we get into the root chakra, the feminine root chakra of Aquarius, we have a couple of celestial bodies there. The first celestial body we have is Saturn, which is sitting in the fixated Aquarius energy in the 6th house, ruled by Capricorn. And Saturn is also still in retrograde this week. Saturn is the planet of restrictions. This literally is the planet of groundedness and discipline and order and creating some level of law and things. And it's really cool because Saturn is sitting inside of its home space. Because I said it, right? Saturn rules over Aquarius. I said Saturn not rules over Aquarius. Saturn rules over the root chakra. I said that, right? So Saturn is in its home space in the root chakra. Yeah, Saturn is in this home space in the root chakra, and so like you're gonna get even more of a pull. It's so weird not seeing my face, y'all. I don't know, seeing my face is kind of like a blanket. Like I really feel like I'm talking to myself for real now. Like dang. All right. Anyway, but like Saturn is like. It's really the planet of groundedness. It is the planet of discipline and order and getting things in order in that realm. Is challenges, because there are some challenges. You will be challenged. Your root chakra will always be challenged, right? It'll always be challenged because people are always going to be knocking at the door trying to come in, and that's the challenge. And it's like, are you going to accept this energy? Are you going to accept this experience? Are you going to accept this knowledge? Are you going to accept this person? Are you going to accept this job? It's always somebody knocking at the door, right? So, and all of those are seen as challenges, good challenges, bad challenges, asinine challenges, important challenge. It doesn't matter. A challenge is a challenge, right? So, you can expect a multitude of challenges in your space, especially if you stepped into this moon. Jesus Christ. This moon is doing me dirty. You hear me? So yeah, just expect challenges, coming back to order and discipline and restructuring yourself, most definitely. For those of you guys who are going back to the drawing board and really tapped into this harvest energy, of like restructuring and rebuilding and all that fun stuff. Yeah, keep going in that direction. You're doing good things. And for those of you guys who don't know, Saturn rules over your legs, your joints, your bones, meat, muscles, organs, teeth, skin, hair, ears, and your knees. Saturn right now is in retrograde, which means that it's moving so slow in its orbit that it appears to be moving backwards. Essentially, what that means is you're going to be repeating some patterns in your space right now, or you're going to be going so slow in this area of your life that it is going to feel like you're repeating patterns or dragging something out, and you just can't wait to get to the other end of this task, the other end of this challenge. And it's just like, why is this taking so long? Like, what's happening here? And I'll tell you what it is. It's Saturn and Aquarius energy, and it's also moving slow and retrograde. That Aquarius energy is about detachment. All right. That Aquarius energy is about detaching yourself from what's going on. What is tugging at your root chakra right now? Are you internalizing it? Are you holding on to it? Are you allowing it to create some grounding and some structure and then moving on from it? Like, what are you doing with it? For those of you guys who actually, there was like a post that I seen recently of somebody had posted and was like, African American culture or religious practices is like doing juju, but then you gotta know after you do the juju, you leaving it up for the ancestors and the universe and all the energies that you just did your ceremony with to do the rest. So whether you're doing juju on somebody or not, the goal is to learn how to let it go. All right. So it's really like we learning how to let things go right now. Learning to detach yourself from certain people, places, and things that no longer serve you, so that you can make space for new things. And that's important, right? I enjoy it. That sixth house is your daily routines. Capricorn energy, bring you back to that groundedness, that root chakra, creating order and discipline. Capricorn is ruling over the sixth house right now. So for those of you guys who don't have your house in order, don't have any sense of groundedness or discipline or order, this is the perfect time to get it done. This is the perfect time to, get yourself there where you need to be. While Saturn is sitting in this root chakra energy. And Saturn usually changes zodiac energies like around December, January-ish. So, we have a few more months with Saturn and this Aquarius energy. Just enjoy it. Like, bask in it, really create. And it's okay to go back to the drawing board and recreate and erase and stuff like that. Like, it's important that you do that, right? So also in this feminine root chakra side of Aquarius, we have Vesta. Vesta is an asteroid. It's actually, if you guys are familiar with the Vestral virgins, how they, for 30 years, you had to stand around the Vestral fire and keep the fire burning. And for those virgins that decide to lose their virginity before their 30-year period, they were usually stoned to death. However, it's a little dark, but at the same token, Vestral virgins were treated like VIP, they were famous. They were like the celebrities. They were the celebrities of the space. It was cool to be a virgin. It was an honor to be selected as a Vestral virgin. Vestral virgins can go into the jail cells and say, hey, free my dude. They could, they were VIP in the at the events and the theaters and concerts and all that stuff. Like, they got treated very well. So you being tapped into this energy, it's going to bring a sense of abundance to you, especially for my super sexual beings out there that have a lot of sexual energy. That means that you have a lot of Vesta energy as well. And when you're not using that energy for the actual act of sex, you're using this energy in some type of way, shape, or form. So find out where Vesta is in your natal chart, like giving you an insight. Me personally, my Vesta is in Gemini. So when I'm not engaging in stuff, I'm tapped into my multiple personalities. I'm tapped into, communicating, doing things for the community, traveling, knowledge. I love knowledge. I love to learn. I love being around people I can learn from and stuff like that. And if I can't, I don't really be wanting to be around you. So, that's all Vesta energy. And right now, Vesta is in Aquarius. So for those of you who don't have your house in order, y'all should not be engaging in any type of sensual sexual activity. Aligning with another soul should be the least of your worries. getting romantically involved with anybody should be the least of your worries. It's time to detach from that energy, and you're usually utilizing sex as a crutch in that energy, and put Vesta in your root chakra. And if you are not in alignment with this could create a lot of turmoil in your love life, because you don't have a personal sense of order or discipline or groundedness. So again, allowing a bunch of people, places, and things into your space. And for those of you guys who are in the movement of celibacy, more than likely this movement of celibacy, the vibes that celibacy is bringing you, is leading you towards becoming a social revolutionary, establishing some type of organization, some type of charity work, some type of activism, something in that realm of things. Okay. What else? Those are the two energies that we have in Aquarius. We have Saturn and we have Vesta, and they're only about 4 degrees apart from each other, so they're very close. There will be some challenges in your space, as far as for those of you guys who are tapped into the Vesta energy and being celibate and trying to redirect your sexual energy. You will be met with challenges. Just, be mindful. And we spoke on this. We spoke on this last week, because now the moon is in Capricorn, just enhancing the challenges. And we're about to get to the masculine side of the root chakra right now. The masculine side of the root chakra is Capricorn. The moon is at 12 degrees Capricorn in the 5th house. The 5th house is ruled by Sagittarius energy. Now the moon is going back to that feminine energy I told you about. This is you at your most comfortable self. This is you, when you're around people that you could let your hair down. Okay. This is you. This is you. And right now you is at creating some type of groundedness, some type of foundation, order, all these different things that's needed in your space, in your time, in your life right now. That's where you want to be at. That's where you're comfortable at. And if you're not there, if you're not in alignment with being there, I'm letting you know right now, you're going to be dealing with a lot of restriction. You're going to be dealing with a lot of resilience, because you're not in alignment. You're not moving like the water. You're trying to control all the movements. And that's cool when you're moving in alignment. It ain't that cool when you try to do whatever you try to do. So, be mindful of that. The 5th house is your heart chakra. So coming back to that space, creativity, love, and coming back to your inner child and romance. Those are all things that this moon is putting in you. And then Sagittarius energy, that energy is already the vibe of the philosophy traveling. Y'all be careful if y'all decide to travel with this energy, because we got all these weather things happening right now. We're in hurricane season. It's not no secret. It happens every year. So if you're gonna tap into that Sag on your 5th house, just be careful. Honestly, just be careful. What else we got? In addition to the moon being over there in Capricorn energy, we got Pluto sitting over in Capricorn energy as well. And Pluto is the energy of like transformation. Pluto is the energy of death and rebirth, bringing things anew, and power and secrets, being in a powerful space. So expect you providing transformation and also experiencing transformation when tapped into creating this realm for yourself, when creating these new laws for yourself, the new rules of the house. Like, some of you guys walking into new jobs, I feel like I sense that a lot of people, when the summer ended, a lot of jobs ended. People were gladly walking away from their jobs, but now you have to create a discipline for yourself. Are you creating a discipline to be a bridge to your next job? Are you creating a discipline to be a business owner? Are you creating a discipline to learn how to be a boondocker and just living off the land, or being a squatter, or just off-grid, period? Like, where is your discipline leading you? It can lead you anywhere you want it to be, but you gotta, talk to it and create some type of order with it. And it's going to create transformation in your life. Being on top of your own law, it does put you in a power seat. Why? Because you're not leaving room for someone to come into your space and create law for you. For a lot of you guys who lack energies in your root chakra, your natal root chakra, you could be dealing with a lot of other people coming into your space and being like, you know what, I got you, and start putting their energies in your root chakra because you don't have no energy there, and you're not trying to put energy there. You know, you have the power to move your cosmos around. I don't know if you guys know that, but y'all have the power. You were born with certain natal planets. You were born with them. But as you endure experiences and different things like that, you have the power to maneuver. We could keep going off of your natal chart, where the planets and things were at the moment you came into this realm. Or we can go over where they are now. I really like going over where they are now in comparison to where they were. Because that gives me, I like to be in alignment with the transit. You know, I want to be up to date. My Mars in Gemini, sometimes I'm before the transit. I feel a lot of things in the foreground. But you know, that's up to you. That's really up to you. Same way you can move your dendrites around in your brain, you can move your aura, you can move anything you want to move. And just to let y'all know, Pluto will remain in Capricorn until 2024. It actually has entered Capricorn energy January 26, 2008. And we speak about that a lot, about how that's when Obama came into office and all these different things. And 2024 is when the next presidential candidate will go into office after this one that we have here. And we have a couple of little dates where, you know, Pluto get his little toes wet inside that Aquarius energy. And that's March 23, 2023 is the first time that Pluto will dip its toe in Capricorn. So please be on the lookout for that date. Some major things may be happening around that time. In addition to that, the Pluto will also be dipping its toe into Aquarius energy November 19th, 2024. And that's like a week or so after election. So, you know, you might be getting some information, some downloads heavy in that space too, as its transformation energy moves away from creating law and order and groundedness and moves towards creating a social structure. All right. So, you know, for those of you guys who are looking to creating transformation and how we do things in groundedness and structure, especially our shepherds that are leading individuals who lack energy in their root chakra, you got 2 more years left. Just let you know, the time is running out. And Pluto rules over the formation of your cells as well as your reproduction system. So like I said, you can move anything. You know, really tap into your root chakra because you have the power to move anything. Now, your sacral chakra is ruled by the planet Jupiter. All right. Jupiter is the planet of generosity, luck, wisdom, joy. You know, sacral chakra is all about pleasure seeking, how you fulfill your pleasures, how you behave when you're being pleased, all that different stuff. You know, when it's overactive, you know, you're overindulging. When it's underactive, you know, you're suppressing yourself and not allowing yourself to have any type of joy or anything like that. And right now, Jupiter energy is inside of Aries in the 8th house of transformation, ruled by Pisces. So your sacral chakra is in for a new beginning. All right. You're in for a new beginning. The sacral chakra is in for a new beginning. Say you got your root chakra all lined up and you learning how to detach and you applying new groundedness to your daily life. Now you done moved up to the sacral chakra and you're moving into a new beginning and creating transformation with that 8th house energy, with that new beginning. Your pleasure seeking should be rooted in transformation. It should also be rooted in spirit, which is covering that transformation because the 8th house is ruled by Pisces energy right now. So now we can get into the masculine root chakra. The masculine root chakra side is Sagittarius energy, okay? And the planetary, the celestial bodies we have in Sagittarius energy right now is our ascendant. Our ascendant is essentially the east horizon sunrise. I like to use the equal house chart because it literally goes by 0 degrees at the sunrise. This is your first house when we're dealing with the houses. It changes every 4 hours, which is why it's important to know what time you were born if you want to get your proper ascendant so that you can get the proper houses. Okay. Your ascendant right now is sitting in Sagittarius energy. It's in the mutable energy at 25 degrees. Our ascendant is also moving in retrograde right now. So it appears to be moving backwards. It's moving so slow. And it's in Sagittarius in the 5th house, the heart chakra, being ruled by Sagittarius energy. So really, your ascendant energy is like your mask. Okay. This is the energy that like you believe the world expects of you, and you also expect of the world. This is the energy that you know you deserve. This is the energy that people meet just as much as they meet your ego, which is your sun sign. They meet this ascendant just as much, if not more so. The ascendant, especially if it's not in alignment with your ego, they might meet your ascendant first and get confused and be like, wait a minute. If your ego rooted in this, but your mask is over here, what's up? I couldn't imagine having a Gemini sun and a Pisces ascendant or something where it's like you got multiple faces everywhere. Like that's a lot. But yeah, your ascendant is the mask. This is your overall self. This also controls how you look physically. Okay, how you physically look, your body structure and all that stuff like that. And right now it's in Sagittarius energy. So overall, it's all about learning and traveling and learning. That's what everybody's doing, right? Everybody's, wearing the mask. Even if you're not really traveling and learning, even if you're just bullshitting and you telling people you're traveling and learning, you're doing that so you can keep up with the vibes that everybody is traveling and learning. All right. That's essentially what's happening. It's in our sacral chakra, so it's going to bring you pleasure to be traveling and learning. Like when you learn something new, the first thing you want to do is tell somebody. A lot of people got podcasts, a lot of people got, talk shows and events and all these different things going on, and that's what's assisting them and teaching other people that want to learn, right? So it's just an endless cycle of learning, and it's becoming, a bit of, an addiction for people. Be mindful of being one of them souls that's pretending to learn something that you didn't learn, because it will come out. You don't want it to come out in a weird way, but just know Pluto is in that root chakra. So for a lot of people that's going to come into your space, they're going to greet you with that shit at the door. They're going to check you at the door. All right. So just be mindful of that. That's all. In your feminine side of your sacral chakra, we got Pisces energy. Pisces energy is all about, like, do you feel good going with the current or going against the current? All right. Do you feel good going along what everybody is doing, or do you feel good being rebellious in your space? And right now we got Neptune sitting in its home space of Pisces. Neptune and Pisces are like one and the same. They are definitely mirror energies. And Neptune is sitting at that mutable Pisces energy in the 8th house being ruled by Pisces. Neptune has actually been in Pisces since February 14th, 2012, and will remain in Pisces until January 26th, 2026. So we got about 4 more years of this energy in this space, and it covers over the nervous system and the thalamus. Now, Neptune is your extra sense. It's all about what's beyond the usual that we're accustomed to doing, right? You got your 5 senses or what have you, and then you come to the spiritual sense of dreams and secrets and your subconscious, and just being present in that way. With it sitting in Pisces, it's really like, and I talk about this and I get excited. It's really like spirit on spirit on spirit, really, because you got the spiritual subconscious energy of Neptune sitting in that spiritual subconscious energy of Pisces, and then it's moving in retrograde, so it's moving slow. It's slowing down for you guys that are just now coming into your spiritual awakening. So walk into this space and give thanks. And not irritation off of the fact that you feel yourself going in the same patterns again. And I hear people asking this question right now, like, whoa, why do I keep experiencing these same things over and over again if I'm walking into my spiritual awakening? Like, why are y'all on me like this? Well, that's what's happening. We're in retrograde. And then you're in the 8th house of transformation. Transformation occurs in cycles. So you're going to be greeted with some old shit that you thought you was way past up, but you're not totally passed up, because we're still in this, you still have to experience those things again with this new set of eyes. You know what I'm saying? This new set of space that you're in now. All right. So that's Neptune and Pisces in the 8th house, ruled by Pisces, and it's gonna feel good. I see a lot of people stepping into spirit and it really learning to love themselves and feel good about themselves, and really, like, you know, just coming out of their shell, coming into their bag, you know, really living their true self, saying no to things, you know, starting to build up on that root chakra, you know, all those things. And Pisces, not Pisces spirit, is definitely the answer for that. And then the other energy that we have in Pisces energy is Juno. And Juno is an asteroid. It's actually the 9th largest asteroid that we have. It's associated with the goddess Hera. Okay. And if anybody remember Hera, y'all know she was the faithful wife of Zeus. And, you know, she would retaliate on his side chicks and his, you know, his extra children and stuff like that. She was very loyal. And with that being said, the energy of this asteroid is, what energy do you need to be loyal? What energy do you need to experience in a marriage, in a union, in a contract, in a bond? What do you need to experience in order to maintain that bond? All right. You know, and when you're not experiencing or receiving that kind of energy, you're not going to be with the shits, period. And this also brings on the energy of wounds, how you carry your wounds. How are you dealing with the wounds? How do you retaliate from the wounds? Because we know Hera was the goddess of retaliation. And loyalty. What's going to make you loyalty? Same thing with being in the bonds and attachment, but what really brings you loyalty? And with Pisces, and I love that it's sitting at 9 degrees, 19 minutes, because y'all know my birthday, 9/19, right? But it's also sitting in retrograde, so it's slowed down. You know, we got 3 energies in our sacral chakra in retrograde. Yeah, we got 3 energies in our root chakra in retrograde. So our root chakra is moving pretty slow. The only thing that's moving prograde is the moon. And then we got 3 retrograde energies in our sacral chakra. So our root and our sacral chakra has slowed down for us to catch up. We got to give thanks for that, okay? But also understand that you're going to come across a lot of challenges within your root and your sacral chakra. You really need to tap in on your natal chart. And if you need assistance applying your natal chart to your chakra centers, I do therapy of that sort. But yeah, Juno and Pisces is like, listen, if you're not tapped in the spirit, you can't come around here. You really can't. You can't come around here. You don't bring me joy. You're not doing nothing for me. You know, I'm not interested. Like, you know, you can't really do too much. You know, it's not going to bring no loyalty. It's not going to bring a bond if spirit is not there. You guys are going to find yourself aligned with people you never thought you'd be aligned with, just off the strength that y'all both align with spirit. Honestly, you're going to find yourself in relationships and ventures and things like that with individuals you never foresaw yourself in, because both of you guys are tapped into spirit, the same energy of spirit, all that. So that's exciting. May it all bring you joy, and may you learn to be loyal to your own sacral chakra before you develop a loyalty to someone else's. Ashe. Our solar plexus chakra. This is our powerhouse. This is the fire in our gut. This is our ether. This is the motivation, what gets us going. You know, this is our anger. This is the emotional trance center. When you're moving in emotions, this is the engine. Okay, when you so pissed, you not thinking straight. When you so happy, you not thinking straight. All those not thinking straight moments, it comes from this powerhouse. This is the powerhouse that's driving it. It's ruled by the planet Mars, and right now Mars is in Gemini in the 10th house. The 10th house is being ruled by Taurus energy right now. So being tapped into your solar plexus chakra right now is what's going to bring you success. 10th house is the house of success. It's the house of achievements, aspirations, all that fun stuff. So if you are not tapped into your solar plexus, I highly suggest you tap into your natal chart, find out where your solar plexus chakra is, and keep going. Keep building on it, align it with the transit planet, where we started versus where we're at. Okay? You know, this, like I said, this is our powerhouse. This is where we get our energy from. And right now, Gemini energy, that energy of intellect and, you know, communication, is assisting us in that self-expression vibe. once we learn, the first thing you want to do is go out into the community and communicate what you've learned, right? And it's bringing on a sense of honor. Your knowledge is creating a throne for you, and that's really dope. And I say keep going in that space of creating that throne for yourself with your mind, because it's important. It's important. And right now, in the masculine side of our solar plexus chakra is ruled by the zodiac energy of Scorpio. We know Scorpio energy is all about power and transformation and just being at the top and rebirth and all of that. And what energies we have in that space right now is we have Aries. Aries is a dwarf planet. It's actually a planet outside of Pluto. So we do have extra planets outside of Pluto. We just keep going, because we're infinite. Aries is in that mutable Aries energy in the 9th house. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. We don't have any energy in Scorpio right now. None. There's no energy in the masculine solar plexus chakra. So showing our power on the outside of ourselves right now is not recommended. We're in building. It's harvest season. So, for those of you guys that are still walking around with your chest pumped out and stuff like it's summertime, this is going to drain you out by the end of the quarter because it's not summertime anymore. We're no longer in that quarter of season. We're now in the season of going back into the dirt. And what happens in the dirt? We're building the roots. That's why it's time to work on your root chakra and your sacral chakra. Those things are more introverted than they are extroverted. But, coming to the feminine side of our solar plexus chakra, that energy is ruled by Aries. And we actually have 4 energies over there. We have Aries, like I said, which is in the mutable energy of Aries in the 9th house, ruled by Aries. And Aries is also in retrograde. Aries is a dwarf planet outside of Pluto. And it brings on the energy of like your rebellious side, discord, activism, lack of harmony. Okay. Where Aries is usually like how the crowd is behaving at a whole when they disagree with it, when they disagree with things. And since the 20s, Aries has been in Cancer energy, which has bringing on the vibes of creating nurturing spaces and activism and just really tapping into your third eye and your divine feminine energy as a response to when it's more so the government than anything, government and corporate governments and all that stuff. When they do different things, when they make certain movements that we disagree with and stuff like that, the response has, consistently been activism and creating nurturing events and organizations and things like that. And this brings new beginnings, tapping into Aries in that powerhouse, finding power in these organizations, finding power in these events, finding power in that activism, all those responses to the things that, we don't really care for from the government and the corporate government. All those things is how we build our powerhouse. Remember, we're still in the solar plexus chakra. We're building our powerhouse right now, and we're building it all from the inside. It's all in the feminine side. So we're building it all inside. We're going to build it with our Aries, our rebellious side, and building, nurturing spaces on our rebellious side. We're also going to tap into Jupiter energy, which is our luck, right? Our wisdom, our joy, our generosity. That is also sitting in our solar plexus in the Aries energy. So this is also in retrograde. So it's moving slow in the 8th house of Pisces. So bringing transformation to our space. All right. Bringing transformation to our space through spirit. For those of you guys who don't know, Jupiter rules over the thighs, fat, brain, liver, kidneys, lungs, ears, tongue, memory, and spleen. All right. In addition to Aries and Jupiter, we have Chiron. Chiron is sitting in that fixated retrograde energy of Aries in the 8th house, ruled by Pisces. So still bringing new beginnings. And for those of you guys who don't know, Chiron is all about wounds and healing. How are you healing yourself? How do you assist in healing others? And how have you turned your traumas and your wounds into a superpower? And the analogy I always give every episode is, those individuals that be on Dr. Phil or Oprah and they're crying about their wounds and their trauma and stuff like that. And then after that episode, they turn around and have a television show based on, their traumas, or they turn around and have a book. They write a book based on their traumas, or, music or whatever. You know, they learn how to turn their trauma into a superpower, and now they're sitting on it in their solar plexus chakra. And that's what, well, it might not be in their solar plexus chakra. Their karma might be in a different chakra, but right now it's in the solar plexus chakra. So by y'all tapping into that energy, y'all are building y'all throne. You build your throne. Chiron is going to usually sits in the zodiac for about 4 years. It spends the most years in Aries, about 7 to 8 years, and then it only spends about 2 years in Virgo and Libra constellations. It's because of the shape of the ecliptic of this particular dwarf planet and things, but it is what it is. It doesn't, I would think that, wounds and healing and stuff like that, you wouldn't want to sit in Virgo or Libra too long anyway, because that's how serial killers are made. In addition to, these three energies, we also have the fortune. Your fortune is going to come from you building your throne, sitting in your power. Do not let your power go for anybody. That means that if you lack energy in your root chakra, it's really time to build it, because that is your gate. And you have to work on your root chakra in order to work your way up to your solar plexus chakra. And when you get to your solar plexus chakra, this is where we're going to get our generosity from. This is where we're going to get our luck and our love from, right? And we're going to find strength in our wounds, so that when we're sitting in this space, can't nobody trigger us with our wounds. Can't nobody trigger us, putting us back into certain mental, physical, and emotional states that we felt like we have overcome. And no worries. All Aries, Jupiter, and Chiron are all in retrograde. So you will be, the planets are slowing down for you to catch up. All right. The planets literally slow down. The asteroids slow down. Everything slow down so that you can catch up if you're not already there. And, like I said, the solar plexus, you build your throne with your superpower that you got from the trauma and all those why me's, those why you's, that's for you. Nothing happened to you. It happened for you, so that you could be here building your throne with it. The heart chakra. Heart chakra is ruled by Venus. Heart chakra is all about self-esteem and love and wealth, what makes us feel good. It's not as like pleasure seeking as the sacral chakra, which is all about like feeling joy. This one is more like sensual. Like I like love and how sensual I am with myself and how sensual I am with others and my interpersonality skills and stuff like that. Right now the heart chakra, Venus is in Libra in the second house, being ruled by Virgo. So Venus is sitting in Libra energy is ruling over the heart chakra, all about creating balance, right? Balance and order, the energy of Ma'at. And we feel that definitely in the wealth category. More so because in wealth, like you do a lot with like that trickle down theory and all that stuff and the caste system and stuff, but we see that depleting as everybody's starting to get paid off these social media sites, and people are learning how to invest, and the pendulums are swinging. People are understanding the power that they have in numbers and groups and stuff like that, and it's all very, very important. Excuse me. And then also, I always forget the love part, because y'all know y'all talking to a Virgo cap stellum. I don't really be doing all that. But as far as love goes, with it in Libra energy, it's in your relationships, whether they be romantic, personal, familial, friendships, business partnerships, and stuff like that. It's all about seeking balance. If you're in a space where you feel like you're over giving and all you do is give, stop it. Come back to a balance. If you feel like, most people that take don't even admit that they're taking that much. But it's time to be honest with yourself in that heart chakra. Otherwise, the planets come for that ass. We already know, like, you're going to start to deal with strife. It's going to be difficult to maintain the things that you've been accepting, because it's so much of an imbalance. The universe is going to start taking and destroying the things you've accepted because you didn't deserve them. You haven't been given. All right. And that's the same thing with self-esteem. People just want to wake up with self-esteem, but what are you doing to earn it? What are you doing to earn your self-love? Can anybody just come in your space and automatically receive your esteem, receive your love and your credibility? No, neither can you. You can't walk into your own space and be like, all right, you can trust me now. Like, no, you're still not going to trust yourself. You're still going to ignore your intuition. You're still going to ignore your body when your stomach is telling you things, when your mind is telling you things, when your heart is telling you things. You're going to ignore your emotions. You're going to ignore your needs. You're ignoring your body functions and your pains and aches. You're going to keep ignoring yourself because you still don't trust yourself. There's no love there. There's no love there. And we want to fix that. So like, this Libra energy right here is like really bringing balance. And I love that it's in the second house because it's like, it's materializing. All that stuff is going to come on the outskirts of you, the outside of you, right? And then it's like Venus energy on Venus energy on Venus energy, because the second house is associated with Taurus vibes. And then Virgo energy over top of the second house is just really like paying attention to details and being of servitude and harvesting that strong sense of self-love. That's a lot of love right there happening. And I definitely see that in the vibes out here with a lot of our communities coming together and people learning how to give people their flowers before they pass on to the next life, which is very, very important. As far as our masculine side of our heart chakra, we got the Taurus vibes. All right. Uranus is in Taurus right now at 18 degrees. Uranus is also in retrograde. For those of you guys who don't know, Uranus is in Taurus in the ninth house ruled by Aries. Uranus has been in Taurus energy since March 15th, 2019. And we know that energy was when, we first experienced our shutdown. We first experienced our shutdown. We started closing up the bills and the rent and the money started coming and stuff like that. And Uranus is an energy of progressive change. And Uranus is a big ass planet. So when that planet enters any type of zodiac energy, any type of conjunctions or, sextiles or whatever, it's bringing a big ass energy. Okay. It's a big change. I'm pushing you down a mountain type change. You ready? Like, it's not no little nudge. It's a big shove. Okay. So when Uranus went into Taurus energy, it was like, I'm finna create this change in how y'all seek wealth. What is wealth to you? Has wealth transformed since 2019? What is love? What is self-love? What is love of others? What is romantic love? Those things should have seen a progressive change in this space and time. Materializations, because Taurus energy, that Venus vibe is more about materials, whereas Libra energy is more about giving life, more internal things. So this is a beautiful example of the masculine and feminine side of the heart chakra, with the Taurus energy being on the masculine side, because it's a lot about materials. It's a lot about bringing things into the physical form and if making you feel good and bringing you to self-esteem and you're loving it and just loving your things. And you know what? This progressive change is going to come from knowledge. Why? Because Uranus is in Taurus in the ninth house. Ninth house is associated with knowledge, expanding your philosophy, expanding your thought process, all that fun stuff. So with Uranus and Taurus in the ninth house, expect yourself to expand the more you learn. Learning is important. Learning is the theme of the universal body right now. It's really like expanding yourself. And the ninth house is ruled by Aries right now. So you already know, when you educate yourself, when you provide edification to yourself, you're automatically going to expand and create new beginnings for yourself. And that's fun. And then next to Uranus, we got 5 degrees away, we got the true node. Now the true node is the path of the moon. It's all about destiny, your soul tribe. When you get into the astrology from the mindset of the Kabbalah, you utilize the true node to find out who your soul tribe is, and you guys, explore your life purpose and your journey together. True node also rules over your legs, breathing, neck, and lungs, and it also changes every 4 hours. And my apologies, let me go back to Uranus real quick. Uranus will remain in the Taurus energy until April 26, 2026, and Uranus also rules over the circulatory system and your third eye. So now let's go back to the true node. The true node is 5 degrees away from that progressive energy of Uranus, bringing you to the path of destiny, letting you know that it is in your destiny to be tapped into this progressive change. Could you imagine all these things? Like, there's so many people in the world. Sometimes I get so caught up being in my own circle of people that I forget that there are people who are the polar opposite of me. And there are some people out here who did not ride with the wave, the progressive change in this heart chakra with Uranus and Taurus. There's a lot of people who do not ride with the wave. They did not expand their mind. They tried to keep things as they were. They fought to keep things as they were. And could you imagine how difficult that was? Could you imagine how many times they bumped their head? They felt that they was falling and stuff because they weren't moving like water. They were moving against the tide. They were moving against Uranus. Uranus is nowhere near the same. I wouldn't even dream of comparing myself to the size of Uranus. I wouldn't dream of as infinite as I am. On a physical scale, I'm nowhere near as big as Uranus. So I know for a fact my EMF is nowhere near as big as Uranus EMF. So could you imagine your EMF going to war with the Uranus EMF? No, I'm not trying to do that. I don't want that. I don't want that smoke. And then the true node is like, hey, if you go and you move like water in this space, it's our destiny to be a part of this space. It's our destiny to be here in this space and time during the progressive change of our materials, during the progressive change of love, universal love. We literally were here in this space and time to endure and enjoy this progressive change in the heart chakra. All right. Now on your feminine side, which is now we're going back internal. We're going back into ourselves. We done showed y'all what we're doing on the outside. On the outside, we got all this progressive change, and we finding our people to do the progressive change with, right? Now on the inside, what are we doing? Our ego is in the inside. Okay. The sun right now is in Libra. It's in the cardinal Libra still at 9 degrees. It's in Libra and it's in Virgo, second house being ruled by Virgo. All right. The sun rules over your bones, your stomach, your right eye, your heart, your skin, your head, and your joints. All right. Your sun is your ego. This is your overall self. This is the big voice in your head, the big throne in your mind. Okay. The sun right now is sitting in your feminine heart. So for those of you guys who have issues with your emotions, that don't know how to communicate your emotions, that have difficulty getting your emotions in order, this is going to be a challenge for you. At the same token, rise above it. The goal is to be challenged. I want you to be challenged, and you want you to be challenged, because when you get to the other side, when the sun, decides to walk away from your heart chakra and makes his way into your solar plexus chakra, you can say, okay, I'm at a balance with my heart chakra now. My natal heart chakra and this transit heart chakra are at a balance now. We getting along. You don't want to walk into your power. You don't want to walk into your ego and your power, and your heart's still all over the place. That's going to create a lot of drama, trauma, turmoil, all that different stuff in between. And that's the second house of materialism, bringing things into the material, all that fun stuff, your self-esteem, universal love. Venus is the planet of self-esteem. It's the planet of love, universal love, loving oneself, loving other people, as well as wealth. How do you obtain your pinnacles? How do you behave? How do you look? How do you feel when you are feeling good about yourself? When you are loved? When you are giving love? What is your love language? What is your wealth language? How will you receive your wealth? Things like that. And right now, like I said earlier, Venus is in Libra in the second house ruled by Virgo. The sun and Venus are about 5 degrees apart right now. So they're pretty close. They're pretty close to each other, giving Venus a sense of light. When you having such a strong self-esteem, love energy, sitting in a space of balance, coming back to what I spoke to y'all before, this is all about creating balance in your heart space, giving and receiving. All right. Also giving and receiving in wealth. But we saw that with Uranus going into Taurus, saying, you know what, y'all not going to do it. I'm about to create a different kind of playing field. And hopefully y'all get it right this time. But, going back and forth between the Taurus and the Libra vibe should definitely bring a sense of balance in the wealth. whether it's the wealth of yourself, amongst yourself, in your business, in your home. Maybe you have a partner that you split bills with, and there's been like a lack of balance in who's splitting what and who's paying for what, and that needs to come back into a level playing field. All right. And Venus rules over the face, the light in your eyes, genitals, urine, semen, throat, body shape, as well as your vision. The midheaven. Midheaven is the 10th house. When we're dealing with the houses, this is your house of achievement, of aspirations. You're successful, your space of success, your space of getting things done, bringing things into fruition. And that's also in Libra in the 2nd house. The midheaven is actually in the fixated energy at 16 degrees. So it's a little bit further away from the sun and Venus. Eventually the sun is going to catch up. And we'll get into that, later. But with your energy of aspirations and success and achievement, being in the heart chakra, you guys getting your emotions in order is definitely going to assist you. Because like I said before, once the sun exits your heart chakra, it's going to enter in your solar plexus chakra. And that Scorpio energy, thus bringing you into your power space and your power seat or whatever. So you being tapped into your heart chakra, getting your emotions in order, finding balance in your emotions within yourself, and your emotions in alignment with other people, places, things, and situations is going to help you when it comes time for that ego to sit in your solar plexus chakra. And that's really exciting. And for those of you guys who don't know, the midheaven is the middle sky, and it changes 1 degree every 4 minutes. So it takes about 2 hours for it to move into the next zodiac. Now your throat chakra is your communication. This is how you speak, how you express yourself, not just speaking, but like expression in general. Like art, are you artistic in expression? Are you straightforward? Are you, a little zesty? Like, how do you communicate? How do you receive communication? Also your decision-making mind. All right. Because that comes from expression and communication. How you express yourself determines how you make the different decisions and patterns you're going to make and notice in others. The throat chakra, of course, is ruled by Mercury, and right now Mercury is in the Virgo, in the 2nd house, ruled by Virgo. We got a lot of planets sitting in their home chakras, and that's fun. I think the only one that's not so far is the solar plexus, because the solar plexus is sitting in our throat. So a lot of power is going to come from communicating. As far as our feminine side of our throat chakra is Gemini energy. And like I said, Mars, which rules over our solar plexus chakra, is sitting in that feminine Gemini energy. Mars is in the cusp of being fixated and mutable at 20 degrees in Gemini in the 10th house, ruled by Taurus energy. So going inward, because we're in the feminine side of our throat chakra, going inward in our self-expression within self, okay? Being motivated is going to motivate you. Talking to yourself, inspiring yourself, listening to your intuition, the thoughts in your head, going inward. I would say like heavy meditation, heavy on the meditation. All right, is what's going to get you going, and it's going to assist you in that solar plexus chakra as well. So really just like going inward and motivating yourself within self. And like I said, this is the harvest season, so it's really time to just put things in the soil. And you don't really see what's going on in the soil when you put things in the soil. You only see the results when things start growing and stuff, and that's not until the next season, then another season or so from now. So for those of you guys who don't know, Mars rules over the blood, marrow, anal energy, neck, female organs, your veins, and your genitals. Now for your masculine side of your throat chakra, we're dealing with Virgo energy. Mercury is the planet of decision making. It's the planet of communication and expression. And right now it's sitting in the mutable energy at 24 degrees in Virgo in the 2nd house, ruled by Virgo. Mercury is really sitting in its home space on the outside of self, communicating. Be mindful for those of you guys who have a lot of Mercury energy. Well, a lot of Virgo or Gemini energy, because this can produce a sense of like overactive throat chakra, because Mercury is already sitting in Virgo on the outside of us, and it's in the materialized energy in the second house ruled by Virgo, which is another expression energy. Also being mindful of overthinking, over policing yourself on your masculine side of expression. Don't hold back. Let it go. Let it out. Let it materialize. Otherwise, when you're suppressed, that's when it becomes overactive at the wrong time. And for those of you guys who don't know, Mercury rules over your chest, your nervous system, skin, navel, nose, nerves, lungs, tongue, arms, face, and hair. And a lot of your patterns and your decision-making skills are going to come into your expression. How you receive the expression of others, how you communicate, how you receive the communication of others, all that type of stuff. Ceres is also in that masculine throat chakra and Virgo energy. Ceres is it's an asteroid. It's also the energy of Iris, giving off the vibes of nurturing, being a nurturer, mom-daughter energy, as well as agriculture, because agriculture is like a part of like nurturing. When you feed someone, you're nurturing them. It's actually sitting in the cardinal energy at 1 degree in Virgo, in the first house, that first house being ruled by Leo energy. So this nurturing energy is coming to a space of expression. A lot of people are going to start voicing their need for nurturing spaces that are specified to their need of nurturing, right? And if you haven't already done so, you need to. It's important. That's literally like the only way you're going to manifest the spaces that you want to have is if you express your need for them, if you communicate your need for them. One thing I will say that the government does do, for those of you guys who know you're aboriginals or you're indigenous to this land, is when you indigenous people come together and start expressing your need for certain safe spaces, the corporate government that we have now has no choice but to adhere to that need. They have to create that space or allow you to go into a building and create that space. They can't tell you no, because you already expressed your need for that, and it's their job to provide. So and just use that token of information and apply it to different situations in your life. Nobody can create a nurturing situation for you if you're not expressing your need for certain nurturing situations. If you're not expressing your need for certain things, who's gonna know? Nobody can know. So really just like learning how to communicate different, how to create different decisions and patterns in your life, in your throat chakra right now, and being motivated to do so, because Mars is sitting right there in your feminine side. So you're in the inside, you're being motivated to do so. And it's just like, on the outside, are you listening? On the outside, are you listening? Are you doing it? Are you nurturing it? Are you nurturing yourself and your need for certain things? If you're not, you should get on that. It's important. So now we're going to move into your third eye and your crown chakra, which are pretty much, I won't say they're one and the same. At the same token, they are a part of your brain area, and they do provide a bit of a bridge, if you will, between this octave of self and the next octave of self. When we start really getting into the celestial outer body chakras, all right, the chakras of your aura and stuff. So as far as the third eye crown chakra, the Sun/Leo rules, your masculine side, and then the Moon /Cancer rules your feminine side, of course. And as far as the Sun side or the Leo side, we have Lilith over there. Lilith is in the cardinal energy of Leo at 2 degrees, sitting in the 12th house of Cancer. Some fun facts about Lilith. Lilith spends about 9 months in each sign. It takes about 9 years for them to cycle, make their full cycle. And Lilith, astronomically speaking, is the moon's furthest point in orbit around the Earth. It's your primal energy. It rules over your primal energy. Like if you're looking at your natal chart and you want to know what like Lilith does, it's like where you need to assert your energy the most your deepest desires, your primal desires, and like it's like, and they usually come up outside of like deliberately looking at your natal chart. They usually come up when you're in like different interactions with people, and you notice like little things about them that really piss you off, and then you'll find out that their ascendant or their sun sign is where your Lilith is. That's usually where that is, or even their Mercury. Now, if it's somebody that you're in a romantic relationship with, it might be, you know, their Venus as well. But these energies are usually like, you know, they provoke you, they trigger you. Whether it's a good trigger or a bad trigger, it could be, you know, a sensual thing as well. You know, it just ignites a deep desire, whether it's a deep desire to lay somebody down or kill them. So with Lilith sitting in that cardinal energy of Leo, you know, expect Leos to get on your nerves at this time because, you know, one, I would see that Leos would be the number one to catching some level of seasonal depression at this time because we did such a crazy 180 in the weather as well as the sun exposure in our skies. So expect a lot of like from our summer babies, our sun babies, especially Leos. A lot of complaining, a lot of whining, being, you know, present for them while they're dealing with this in whatever way they're trying to deal with it. Some people deal with it in a form of creating, being, you know, attentive to different events or different things, and, you know, distractions and stuff. But, you know, that could very well be a trigger. In addition to that, like I spoke on before, when Lilith was in Cancer, I spoke on the energy of spiritualists triggering people, especially my, you know, people that are still not still, but, you know, people that are in the Christian culture, people that, you know, are in certain like, you know, religious cultures that go against like spirituality or deem spirituality as some level of demonic or just not, you know, healthy or okay or, you know, psychologically sound. These Leo energies is going to bother you. Why? Because these Leos derived from the Cancer energy that Lilith was just in. All right. So you go from being a nurturer, being in that feminine energy, creating those nurturing spaces, being in the shell and listening to intuition, to now you're stepping out into this like, you know, self-centered ego type of energy with that space you've created. It's not going to be a little move. You're going to be a very big energy in the room with all the things you just accumulated from that Cancer Lilith. And this is sitting in the 12th house. The 12th house being ruled by Cancer, which is why I keep aligning it with that Cancer energy because, you know, Cancer energy is ruling the house that Lilith is in. So you're being tapped into that duality of spirit and also being the center of the room. So a lot of my spiritualists that have been doing this for a while, this is definitely a time for you to start standing on stages, speaking and teaching, teaching and guiding in spaces. Like, it's cool to serve. And, you know, it's cool, you know, to create and keep doing those things. At the same token, you know, you want to elevate. You want to go from, you know, being an assistant teacher to a teacher to a guidance counselor to a principal. You know what I mean? So wherever place you're at, just make sure that you're elevating with that Leo energy. Because if you're not, you're going to be triggered when you see other people sitting on that throne that you wanted to sit on, that you didn't allow yourself to sit on because you feel like you don't deserve it. Or it could centrally turn you on. That's a whole nother, you know, realm. A lot of people are turned on by individuals that sit in their shit. You know. Yeah, that's what I got for y'all for Lilith. As far as our feminine energy, that Moon Cancer, we have Pallas over there. Pallas is an asteroid. It's rooted in the arts, wisdom, genius qualities one may overlook. Also associated with self-defense and justice. Pallas is in the fixated energy of Cancer in the 11th house. That 11th house being ruled by Gemini energy. So like, it's really dope because like inward, you're going inside of yourself and you're using your artistic abilities and all the knowledge you have and tapping into spirit and really being like all the good sweet stuff that's inside of a crab shell. And then when you go on the outside, you know, you got that Leo energy, which is also Lilith and fire, and then the shell, you know, in alignment with, you know, the shell and the claws that's on the outside of the crab. So essentially, that's what it is. Like, your third eye and your crown is really the embodiment of a crab. You know, you want to go inwards. You want to tap into your creative self and listen to your creative self, because your creative self has really good ideas. You know, this is literally Cancer in the 11th house speaking to you. These are your humanitarian pursuits. So don't think you're being selfish tapping into your creativity, because tapping into your creativity is what's going to assist you in your place in humanity. It's going to assist you in your place of the different things that you have to do. There's billions of people in the world. It's about like 8 billion now. All you need is a couple hundred, and you might even expand yourself even further to have some thousands, some tens of thousands. And I'm telling you right now, energetically speaking, trust, that's enough. That's enough. So don't ever think you're in competition with anybody for someone else's Leo to trigger yours, for someone else's Cancer energy to trigger yours, because your intuition, your creative spirit, your genius, all that things is going to fine-tune this magnet, first of all, because the third eye and the crown chakras are your magnets, you know, that attract what you need them to attract. And then it's going to assist you in attracting your tribe and attract the reality that you really want. But if you're too busy being triggered or bothered by somebody else's, you're doing yourself a disservice on your own energy. You know what I mean? Unless you like centrally turned on, then I don't know. Don't be so centrally turned on that it becomes a distraction, or you're also doing yourself a disservice. But that's what I have for you as far as the tropical chart and where it's placed at in your chakra centers. The moon moves from the 5th to the 8th house this week. So we're moving in our feminine energy. We're moving from our feminine heart chakra creativity, staying tapped into our, you know, our inner child. And we're going into, you know, applying things to our daily routine. And then we're going into, you know, creating balance and fairness, one-on-one relationships. You might start to rehash by like Thursday, Friday. And then by Monday, we into transformations, because you probably didn't like a lot of that lack of reciprocation that you were either giving or receiving. But all that is popping off from the moon. And then also Lilith enters Leo energy. Lilith entered Leo energy yesterday. I wanted to give you guys that tidbit. That energy was felt yesterday. Now, as far as the sidereal chart, so the tropical chart and the sidereal chart are two different charts, but both of them are just as important, and Aboriginals invented them both. For those of you guys who like to pick sides and you guys are hell-bent on being one or the other, there is no one or the other. You know, you can try to do away with one, but you're really doing yourself a disservice. I know we like to think in our mind all things Western is white and do away with it and stuff like that. That's a very harmful mindset to have. Please expand yourself if that's the one you got. As far as the sidereal chart is more so rooted in constellations. What constellation is this celestial body inside of? Granted, a lot of these constellations we don't really give acknowledgement to within our solar, especially because I live in Jersey, so I don't see all the constellations that someone on the southern hemisphere sees. You understand what I'm saying? But it's still all in the same, you know, celestial, like, overall body, like in the same galaxy. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. Then all of the with the constellations, with the sidereal chart, they really only like to focus on the constellations that's on the ecliptic. It's not really much focus on any other constellations outside of that. The ecliptic is essentially like the pathway of the sun, moon, and stuff. So there's only any focus on that, which would actually add a couple of constellations, because constellations are moving, stars are always moving. So now some are starting to move into our ecliptic, but we've gotten so set in stone on the 12 constellations. For some reason, we just will not add anymore. But there are about 15 at this point. But yes, that's rooted in sidereal, is rooted in constellations. I like sidereal. I prefer what the Sumerians were doing before they created the sidereal chart, because my thing with the sidereal chart is, like I said, they don't acknowledge all the constellations. It's also like not really much concrete on what the starting point is. Is it Aries 0 degrees? Where is Aries 0 degrees, etc., etc.? Because we're going off the constellation that's forever moving and not a 30-degree zodiac energy. Tropical chart just takes a 360 degree, which is the circle, which we believe is the shape of our universe, and divides that 360 degree into 30-degree intervals. Boom, that's the zodiac. We done. It's really pretty much cut and dry. So no matter where the constellations are moving, like we have some constellations that sit in two different zodiac energies, right? Because it's so big. Libra constellation is definitely one. The Libra constellation is so big that some of the stars went into the Scorpio constellation. So now some of those stars are part of the Scorpio constellation, and some stars that were originally part of Libra constellation have now gotten moved to Scorpio constellation and vice versa. We have some things like that happening. I prefer the actual constellation placement, which is more so like nakshatra centered, where we're really talking about the star that the celestial body is next to and what EMFs that give off. At the same token, I do all three natal charts. So if you guys are interested in having all three of those natal charts read for you, I can do all three. But getting into the sidereal chart, I'm just going to do a run through. In our root chakra, on the Capricorn side, we have Saturn at 23 degrees and retrograde in Capricorn in the 6th house. We have Pluto at 1 degree and retrograde in Capricorn in the 5th house. And we have Vesta at 27 degrees and retrograde in Capricorn in the 6th house. So you have that energy, still that energy of discipline and creating order and some type of law, structure, morale for self in that space of transformation, because when you create that law and order and stuff for yourself, transformation will occur. And then Vesta being, when you're not engaging in sexual activity, this is where your energy should be rooted in, creating law and order for self. Now on our feminine side, on the inside of self, we have Neptune. So spirit is even calling us to create, law and order for self. And if we don't do it for self, spirit is going to do it for us. For those of you guys who don't like to listen, I'm pretty sure like the planets are doing their thing in your life, and it doesn't always feel good. And then Juno is also in the feminine side, showing you guys, look, you have, what you need. You can create a bond here. You can create some type of, loyalty, some type of relationship here, with your root chakra. It doesn't have to be all bad and gloom and doom, especially for those of you guys who feel like you shouldn't be paying attention to your root chakra at all, because there's this notion that, our crown chakra is more important and the most important, and all the other chakras are low vibrational. It's true on a physics sense, because solids move more, the atoms don't move as spaced out. Red is way more dense than purple, but at the same token, that's not, on a metaphysical sense, that's not it. They're all these vibes are important, especially because we're in this physical plane. So to not pay attention to your physical chakras on this physical plane, you're really doing yourself a disservice. If anything, move in gratitude, because we're moving in a plane that a lot of different celestial beings and spiritual beings do not get to move around in, and we get to be here. Your sacral chakra, your pleasure-seeking energy. Your moon is in the masculine side of Sagittarius in the 5th house, bringing that feminine energy, reminding you on the intuitive side to go ahead and, do what you got to do, because the sacral chakra is being ruled by Pisces right now. As far as your feminine side, now we're going inward. You have Jupiter, which is the energy of generosity and wisdom. You have your midheaven, which is your success. You have Chiron, which is turning your wounds into a superpower. Aries of discord and lack of harmony. And then you have your fortune. So a lot of back and forth going on as far as wounds and facing wounds and doing shadow work. A lot of shadow work being done in that sacral chakra, but essentially it's going to bring room in for abundance and luck and all those things. Your solar plexus chakra, which is your power space, in your masculine side, we don't have anything in that masculine side, but in your feminine side, we have Uranus sitting in Aries in the 9th house, and then we have the true node. So we have that progressive energy as well as, your destiny sitting in both of these in your solar plexus. So in your power house, You know, you want progressive energy. You need to make a change in your powerhouse and on what's power to you and how you're maintaining your power and how you obtain your power. And then also, you know, finding your soul tribe, your soul power tribe is always fun because you don't have to worry about too much like bumping egos and stuff because you guys are so aligned. In addition to that, you know, just your destiny. Your destiny is to be on a throne. What does that throne look like and what that throne is in charge of? You know, that's up to you. Definitely tap into your solar plexus chakra on your natal chart and find out. Your heart chakra, being ruled by Virgo energy. Your masculine side, we don't have anything over there, but as far as your feminine side going inward, we have Mars. So being motivated. Mars is sitting in Taurus energy in the 10th house, ruled by Taurus. Be motivated to use your heart. Be mindful of being angered when using your heart. Right here, you could feel a bit of an imbalance as you may be feeling way more emotions on the inside than you feel on the outside of self because there aren't any celestial bodies pulling on those outer heartstrings. So a lot of your emotions may be inside, but that's why we're going to get to the throat chakra because we have to express these emotions and figure out how to put them on the outside of yourself so you're not harboring and suppressing. So, you know, gratefully you have your ego in your throat chakra, your masculine throat chakra, which is Virgo energy. Your sun is at 14 degrees in the second house, and then you have Venus in Virgo in the second house, and the cardinal energy at 9 degrees. With your ego and your self-esteem sitting in the masculine energy of your throat chakra, it's going to make you feel good to air out all that stuff that's going on in your heart chakra. Okay, it's going to feel good to express, to communicate, make, you know, certain decisions, end a lot of patterns. Be mindful of you not going too far off when communicating your emotions. Be mindful of when you are communicating separate from your emotions and when you're communicating within your emotions, because it is a big difference and it will show in how you communicate, because you'll notice that you're triggering people. So when you're, you know, formulating sentences, you know, ask yourself, is this really the energy I'm trying to give off? Is this really my energy I'm trying to give off? And on your feminine side and your internal self, in your eternal self, you have your ascendant, which is your mass. This is the energy that, you know, you feel you need to give off to the world, that you expect from the world, things of that nature. And then also Palace, which is your wisdom, your genius qualities, the things that you overlook and stuff is all in the inside. So, you know, you could be overlooking your ability to speak up for yourself, spending so much time in internalizing and stuff. And I don't know why I feel like I'm talking to myself, but you know, that ain't it, y'all. Anyway, third eye, crown, is ruled by Virgo Sagittarius energy. In our masculine side, we have Mercury at 29 degrees in Leo. So it's right at that challenge cusp. So it may be a challenge to y'all as far as decision making and really trusting into your third eye, trusting the spirit, trusting all those things. That 29 degree is a degree of hardship and challenge and stuff like that, because you're moving from there into the next zodiac energy, which is usually the toughest. It's like trying to go through a meniscus or some type of aura. You're going from one, you know, zone to the next one, and it's like that, like kind of vibe. Anyway, so like, you know, communicating and decision making and stuff, it might be scary at first because you're gonna, you know, when you first start listening and expressing, it's gonna get all these crazy ideas because you spent so many years ignoring self and ignoring spirit and intuition and your third eye and your crown and everything. So when you finally start communicating and doing all things, it's gonna just splurt out of you. It's just gonna come out, and you can't be scared of it. You know, you're gonna be challenged about it because it's like you think you never heard it. People around you never heard it either. So, you know, for those of them who are accustomed to who you were, who you have been, it might create some type of issues. You know, Ceres is also in that masculine third eye chakra. Ceres being that space of nurturing, you know, creating a nurturing space for self and others and agriculture and all that stuff like that. You know, coming back in tune with nature, you know, Mother Gaia is very important, and that's also going to be a sensation you would want to satisfy in your third eye and your crown chakra. Going back out into nature, camping, just being outside and grounding yourself, all those things is going to feel good, and you're going to desire it a lot. Now, in your feminine side, on the inside of self, we're dealing with Cancer energy. Okay, your Lilith. 6 degrees Cancer in the 12th house being ruled by Cancer. So, you're going to be triggered. You're going to be triggered. You're going to be motivated. You're going to be tapped into your deepest desires, and they're going to come out of you, and they're going to be expressed, and they're actually going to be what drives your decisions. And it's going to feel weird to allow your deepest desires to do that and fuel that. And it's going to break up a lot of relationships. It's going to break a lot of bonds. I foresee a lot of y'all walking out on jobs that don't serve you. I foresee a lot of y'all walking out on a lot of things that don't serve you if you're tapped into your third eye, because a lot of you guys have been suppressing and dealing with a lot of people, places, and things that just aren't good for you. And so, you tapping into this energy is definitely going to help you. And that's what I have as far as aligning the planets with your chakras. I really enjoyed reading it that way, and I foresee myself continuing that. And then it was also easier to write the notes, I won't lie. So now we're going to get into the weekly happenings of the planet. And I'm going to get my production skills up, because I'm going to have like a little video and it'll be like, right? Okay. In fact, because I've been talking for so long, I'm gonna play a video real quick so I can rest myself, and then I'll be back.
Finding quality R&B music in the current market is like finding a needle in a haystack. So what do you do if you're an R&B fan looking for something new to get your teeth into? You get frustrated by the choice, get disappointed by the talent, get bored of the same old, same old. Solution, introducing Young Bae's True American album. And visit thebaemusic.com. That's the solution. Teardrops are alone. Visit thebaemusic.com. I'm back in love again. Don't change like it. Get another grand. I see grand horizon.
That was fire. I appreciated that. Shouts to Raquel, Prenoia Starseed podcast, and she has like a whole calendar set up and things going on and stuff like that. So y'all could like definitely, check her out and stuff. I was just up there last night or whatever. But now we back. Let's get through this week. So today we started off the day with the first quarter moon at 52%. The moon rose at 3:32 p.m. and it will be setting. There is no set time actually. We are still sitting in Capricorn zodiac energy with the moon. And that is fun. So the internal stuff is all about sitting in that root chakra, building, constructing, creating ground rules and laws and morale for self. All right. The sun rose at 6:57 a.m. and will be setting at 6:38 p.m. Today's the third, right? Yeah. The International Space Station will be visible from 7:05 to 7:13, and then again at 8:41 to 8:46. The moon and Pluto will be in conjunction at 11:23 p.m. tonight. The moon will be 3.5 degrees south. Minimal angle will occur at 1:21 a.m. with the moon at 3.3 degrees south-southeast, and you can observe that at 11:51 p.m. with a 3.4 degrees south separation. With the moon, our internal comfortable self energy and the energy of transformation and power both sitting in that energy of creating law and order. I would say today will be a really good day to create a routine or some type of thing for yourself. Create a new practice or a challenge for yourself that you would like to exercise, that you would like to adopt into your daily life. Those would be like the best things I would say do, especially because Pluto is sitting in that 5th, 6th house energy. Sculptor Galaxy, NGC Sculptor Galaxy will be at the highest point of the sky. It'll be visible tonight at 11:38 p.m. and then again at 2:22 a.m. It'll reach the highest at 1 a.m. And NGC 300 essentially is a starburst galaxy. It's still undergoing a period of intense star formation, so it's still a little baby, but it's mostly visible in the southern hemisphere. So the fact that we get to see it up here is pretty dope. Tomorrow, October 4th, we're in the waxing gibbous moon. The waxing gibbous moon is the moon of endings, where one starts to see results of their work. And if you have been underestimated, this is the time where you'll start to be noticed. You may feel that you are no longer your starting point, but you're not quite where you want to be yet. Watch out for signs and coincidences during the stage, and it's time to tie off some loose ends. Exercise patience and test your strength and determination, especially because this moon is still in Capricorn energy, so you're definitely going to be tested in exercise. Don't even worry about it. The moon is going to rise at 4:11 p.m. and it will be setting at 12:30 a.m. The sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:58 a.m. and set at 6:36 p.m. I love those numbers. The moon is the smallest distance to Earth, so we're going to have a really big moon tomorrow night. Hopefully it'll be visible because we've been having really cloudy stuff lately. The International Space Station is visible from 7:55 p.m. to 8:02 p.m. and then the evening visibility of Taurus will begin. So you'll see like some pretty blue stars in the sky. That's Taurus looking real pretty in the sky. Can we see Taurus over here where we are? Let's see if I can find the Taurus constellation. I see Cassiopeia. I don't even think I'm on the right side of the screen. I'm looking at Capricornus and Aquarius. Yeah, I didn't even get pictures for the right side of the screen, y'all. But you see all these constellations we got, right? We also got some meteor showers coming, but I'm about to get into that in a minute. Okay, so Taurian energy is somewhere over here, especially because Uranus is right there. Do we have another one? Okay, so we over here. We over here in this vibe. Do I got another one? Am I being greedy? Yeah, we somewhere over here. And that's cool because the Taurus, so Taurus energy is over here. And we're gonna see it. So we're gonna, you're gonna see. October 5th, which is Wednesday, we in the waxing gibbous moon, still in the moon endings at 74%. The moon is going to rise at 4:49 p.m. and it'll set at 1:45 a.m. and we'll be in the Aquarius zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 6:59 a.m. and it'll be setting at 6:35 p.m. So we lost 2 more minutes. Every day we losing like 2 minutes of sunlight. In case y'all didn't notice, it's 2 to 3 minutes we lose a day. So every week we lose about like 20 minutes. The North Pole of the moon will be tipped into view. The moon and Saturn will be in conjunction because they both stand up in Aquarius, but this will occur at 11:14 a.m. The moon will be 4.5 degrees south. Minimal angle will occur at 12:30 p.m. where the moon is 4.4 degrees south-southeast, and you'll be able to observe this at 7:10 p.m. with a 5.7 degree separation. With the moon, your internal self and Saturn, again, still coming to that energy of creating order for yourself, creating order for your home, your structures, your daily life, because we're still dealing with that 6th house energy to an extent. We'll probably be moving into 7th house energy at the end of this evening. The International Space Station is visible from 7:07 p.m. to 7:16 p.m. The moon and Deneb Al-Jedi will be in conjunction. Yeah, they'll be in conjunction at 8:26 p.m. With the moon at 3.6 degrees south. And for those of you guys who don't know, Deneb Al-Jedi is a star in the Capricorn constellation. This is bringing the knowledge back to the sidereal versus the tropical. So even though we're in Aquarius zodiac energy in the tropical, we're still in the Capricorn constellation of I said tropical Aquarius, right? We're in the sidereal constellation of Capricorn. So Deneb Al-Jedi has the EMS of Saturn and Jupiter. This is the exact star. This is the energy that I like more so than talking about, oh, it's in Capricorn constellation, but it's an Aquarius zodiac. I want to hear the star. It's by the Deneb Al-Jedi star. So you see how in my planetary forecast, I adjust all 3 charts. That's how I like to keep it. And I will address your natal chart if you talk about it in the comments. So Deneb Al-Jedi gives off the energy of Saturn and Jupiter, so it gives off like this joyous energy, but it's still conservative. A lot of wisdom there, the silent type energy, like a strong, silent, a wise type energy in your space, but they're not going to take no shit. So if you try to go against this energy, you're going to get that hand slapped. But if you listen to the energy, there will be an award at the end. Okay. Jupiter's great red spot will also be visible down the Central Meridian, which is literally the middle of Jupiter, and that'll be around 11:10 p.m. NGC 300, which is a spiral galaxy in the Sculptor, is at its highest point in the sky. Will be at the highest point in the sky, and then I hate trying to pronounce this. The Camelopardalis meteor shower will begin, and it'll peak the next day on October 6th. But that meteor shower will begin, and it's around the Draco constellation. It'll be 2 meteor showers around that constellation this week coming. Let's see if I can pull. I don't even see it over here, cuz. Where is Draco? I know it's a picture. Oh, here it goes. So we're near Draco the Dragon. We have the Camelopardalis meteor shower. And then October 6th, we're dealing with the waxing gibbous moon still, the moon of endings at 83%. The moon is going to rise at 5:21 p.m. and then set at 3 a.m. We're still in the Aquarius zodiac. The sun is going to rise at 7 a.m. Sun will rise at 7 a.m. and then set at 6:33 p.m. The moon and Deneb will be at minimal angle. So before we had conjunction, now we have minimal angle at 12:43 a.m. The moon will be 3.1 degrees south-southeast. There will be a morning visibility of the moon, so you'll start to see the moon after sunrise. Mercury will be the smallest distance to the sun, so Mercury is going to be bright as shit, and we are here for it. So we see like that orangey red star twinkling in the sky. That's Mercury. And mind you, Mercury is sitting in I just said it. It's sitting in the Leo constellation. So if you look up in the Leo constellation, you'll be able to see Mercury glowing. The activity of the Draconids begin. So they also will be coming from the Draco constellation. Draco is Latin for dragon. It's the story of Ladon, which was a dragon that was hired to keep safe Hera's apples. So Hera had a bunch of golden apples. It kind of gives me like the Adam and Eve kind of story. This is the apple tree, and Draco was in charge of them. And then Heracles actually killed Draco in his pursuit of receiving the golden apple. So then Hera put Draco into a constellation as an award for his, protection. So these two constellations that you will experience, these two meteor showers you will experience between the Draconids and the Camelopartalids, they're going to give off the energy of protection. They're going to give off the energy of just being that outer shell that you need. So I will go outside and ground myself, because in your root chakra is creating discipline and order, but that discipline and order provides protection, right? It makes sure that like people can't come into your space and trespass you. They can't come into your house and trespass. They can't, whatever. There's rules and regulations and there's repercussions, right? So, I will go outside for that grounding on October 5th and 6th and get those two meteor showers and, that energy of loyalty and protection and being able to do things to the end. Like, he was willing to die to protect those apples as he did and was still honored. What are you willing to die for, to protect? What do you have faith that you will be honored for? Questions to ask yourself when creating that groundedness and that discipline. Certain things, if you ain't ready to die for that shit, it probably shouldn't be in your root chakra. But, it's levels to it, of seriousness to, asininity. I like to make my own words. But yeah, that's what's happening on the 6th. And then the International Space Station will be visible from 7:56 p.m. to 8:04 p.m. And then we get into October 7th, which is Friday, I believe. We'll still be in the waxing gibbous moon of endings at 91%. The moon is going to rise at 5:48 p.m. and then it's going to set at 4:14 a.m. And we'll be in the Pisces zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 7:01 a.m. and it will be setting at 6:32 p.m. Venus and Parima will have minimal angle at 12:13 p.m. Venus will be 1.4 degrees south-southwest. And I believe we spoke on Venus being in Virgo vibes, but also being in Libra vibes. Depends on, where we're looking at. Parima being a part of the Virgo constellation, we're talking about the sidereal. So we're talking about Venus and Virgo right now. Parima is an energy of like Mercury and Venus. So it's like decision making and patterns and communication and expression in the realms of love and wealth. Okay, so with Venus being next to that star, I would say like Friday, and I love that it's on Friday because Friday is also ruled by Venus. It's a heavy love day on that day. Whether it's universal love, self-love, loving your community, loving your home, love with your partner, it's definitely a nice, sensual, sassy day that day. So do your thug dizzle. The International Space Station will be visible from 7:07 p.m. to 7:17 p.m. The moon and Neptune will be in conjunction at 10 p.m. The moon will be 4 degrees south. Mind you, both of them will be in Pisces energy. So tapping into spirit is the wave. It will create transformation, as at this point in time, we can infer that the moon will be in the 7th housage if they're in conjunction, because Neptune is currently in the 8th house. So Vesta will go stationary on Friday as well at 2 a.m. prior to going into prograde. I think Friday is just a very sensual day overall. I don't know how Vesta has been going for you guys. I feel like with Vesta in retrograde for me, I haven't really been using it. I've been using my Venus and I don't like it. I want to go back to Vesta. So for all of you guys who've been like, where the fuck my Vesta at? Well, it'll be back on Friday. Friday is like a really dope day for your heart, for love, for wealth. For those of you guys getting paid on Friday, you might get a little extra bread. For those of you guys, that's in love and relationships, Friday might be a really dope date night. It most definitely sounds like it's going to go your way that after the date. Friday is just like a really, really heavy day of love. And I'm here for it. Love in the spirit. October 8th, which is that Saturday, we're still dealing with the moon of endings with the waxing gibbous moon at 96%. The moon will rise at 6:13 p.m. and then set at 5:26 a.m. The moon will still be in Pisces zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 7:02 a.m. and set at 6:30 p.m. Venus and Parima will now be in conjunction at 12:20 a.m. with Venus 1.6 degrees south, just still bringing on that energy of just divine love for real. Pluto will be stationary at 1:22 a.m. and begin its prograde motion. So that's super duper exciting. Pluto has been creating transformation and slowing down for us. Pluto has been sitting in Capricorn energy, that energy of, laws and creating order and, groundedness and root chakra energy. And it really slowed down for us to catch up. But now it's going to go in prograde motion. So it's going back forward at regular speed. So, all the slow down stuff is now about to kick up and pick up. So that first challenge is going to happen a whole lot faster than the challenges have been going, But now it's really like, have you been learning? On Saturday at like 1:00 in the morning, I most definitely will be outside grounding myself. And you guys are more than welcome to join. If I'm not at this event, I will be out. Either way, I'm going to make sure I'm outside by at least 1:22 just to give thanks of all the transformation and the, the power and, just divine transformation in my law, my order, and my root chakra that Pluto has provided me with or allowed me to create for myself, in its retrograde motion. And we're going to give thanks and acknowledgement to it going in its prograde motion and really setting our intentions on the things we would like to continue to create transformation in, The moon and Neptune will have minimal angle at 3:04 a.m. The moon will be 3.1 degrees southeast. Reminding you guys that Neptune is in Pisces, and so will the moon be. Being in this space is really dope. As far as your internal self, your comfortable self, really being in tune with spirit, it's going to be a really, really good time to tap into spirit. Really, with the moon and Neptune sitting in Pisces. Neptune, we know, is in the 8th house. The 8th house being ruled by Pisces is a very spiritual moment. That evening, if you just decide to vamp all night, you in good spirits. Like, especially for my people that don't sleep at night, between Friday and Saturday night, you're really in good spirit. Mercury will have the longest angular distance from the sun. So it'll create like this crazy looking obtuse triangle vibe going on. And that's going to be visible in the AM before sunrise in Virgo constellation around 6:30 a.m. So if you look over in the Virgo constellation, you most definitely will see our buddy Mercury over there chilling. The moon and Jupiter will be in conjunction at 1:36 p.m. The moon will be 2.8 degrees south. Minimal angle will occur at 3:06 p.m. with the moon at 2.6 degrees. 2.6 degrees south-southeast. Observe at 6:56 p.m. with a 3.5 degree east-southeast separation. Hold on a minute, y'all. So it's really dope because, Jupiter is that energy of progressive change, getting things moving. And the moon is our divine self, our feminine energy, our internal self. So really tapping into our luck and our generosity and our wisdom would thus be like equal to tapping into spirit, tapping into our internal self and our comfort self. And that's really dope. Jupiter is like the biggest planet in our solar system, on top of the fact that you already know Jupiter is like Papa Bear energy. It's like going to like Father Time, Father Jupiter, or if you will, and just really speaking your intentions into that space. Receiving like the wisdom, receiving, I would say definitely meditate. From 1:30, if you can meditate between 1:15 and 3:30, you're gold. 1:15 to 3:30 while they're in conjunction and having minimal angle on Saturday, you're gold. Just meditate on the wisdom. Be moving gratitude for the wisdom you have already received. Look up where Jupiter is in your natal chart. Know that Jupiter rules over the sacral chakra. So whatever zodiac energy Jupiter is in, that's the energy that's ruling your sacral chakra. And whatever zodiac energy Jupiter is in, that's where Jupiter is at in your chakra centers. And so, just really tapping into that energy and allowing it to sit in your crown chakra with that moon vibe and just meditate. That's all I can give y'all. The Draconids will reach their max activity on Saturday as well, bringing on that energy of protection, by any means. October 9th, which is Sunday, we are still in that waxing gibbous moon of endings. The moon will rise at 6:37 p.m. and then set at 6:36 a.m. I love those numbers. We'll be in the Aries constellation of new beginnings. So new beginnings on that feminine energy after you get done meditating outside with Moon and Jupiter the day before. The sun is going to rise at 7:03 a.m. and then it'll be setting at 6:28 p.m. There will be an AM visibility of Pallas. Pallas is the qualities of self that you overlook, your genius qualities. And I love that they will have a morning visibility after you get done celebrating the moon and Jupiter in conjunction, because Jupiter is where you're going to get your wisdom from. Pallas is the wisdom you overlook. So this is kind of like the response, you had the wisdom all along. And now when the sun is up and the sun is shining and your ego is awake, and your kundalini has rose, and guess what? Your wisdom is there. Now, are you going to pay attention to it? I hope so. Find out where Pallas is in your chart as well. The full moon will also occur at 4:56 p.m. on October 9th. Mind you that we will be in the Aries zodiac Pisces constellation with this moon. The International Space Station will be visible from 7:08 p.m. to 7:16 p.m. So wave to our friends in space. And Mercury will be at its highest altitude in the sky. So low-key, Mercury will kind of be like the midheaven. So expression, communication, decision-making, all those things will be on the high end, this weekend. October 10th, which is next Monday, we'll be at the full moon at 100%. The moon is going to rise at 7:01 p.m. and then set at 7:44 a.m. The moon will be in Aries energy. The sun will rise at 7:04 a.m. and then set at 6:27 p.m. The east side of the moon, which is Merecrisium, will be tipped into view. And then the activity of the Delta Aurigates will begin. Aurigates is another word for charioteer, which is all about leading and guiding and traveling. So that kind of energy will definitely come to the forefront. This is like our fourth meteor shower. We got the Deltas, we got the Draconids, we got the Taurids, we got the Orionids, and the Camelopardalids. So what was that, like 5? I just said we got 5 meteor showers going on right now. Well, not right now at this moment, because a couple of them got to begin. But like Saturday, like Sunday, Monday-ish, we're going to hit like 5. It honestly kind of keeps like a record of 4, because I believe that we have a meteor shower that ended before we even get to this one. But yeah, we have 4 to 5 meteor showers to focus on this week, period. And it's focused in protection, guidance, traveling, moving forward. Okay. And then we have the Draconids actually end on Monday. And then the Southern Taurids, which come from the Taurus constellation, but they're actually associated with the Enki comet. So when Enki was over there breaking apart and stuff, because what happens with a comet is, as a comet gets closer to the sun, it starts to separate. And then that's what leaves the little meteors and meteorites in the sky. And then when we get close to where they are sitting at, they're not really stationary, but they're kind of like floating, I guess, in a thick space where they kind of don't really like move as much as like Mercury or whoever fuck. We'll come across the meteor showers. All right. But the Southern Taurids are going to give off the energy of the Taurus constellation. So as we're protecting and we're moving forward and we're being chariots and we're, leading and being initiators, we're also materializing. We're also gaining self-esteem, pleasure, wealth, all that at the end of the week when Southern Taurids reach the max of their activity next Monday, right? That's a beautiful meteor shower story, But this is associated with the Enki comet. And Enki, for those of you guys who don't know about Sumerian mythology, this was the god of water, knowledge, crafts, and creation. All things beautiful, which is what Taurus energy is associated with, beauty and materialization and stuff like that. So that's your planetary forecast for the week. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me and listening and being a vibe, especially through all these like technical difficulties I've been experiencing. I want to just like move forward and tell you guys about some of the events I have right now. If you guys go to letsnobodiescollection.com, You guys can begin your nominations. We are in nomination for the Cosmic Nobody's Convention. This is our third annual award ceremony. You get a really dope award with your face on it, your name on it, you know, the constellation and the star that you won. It's a really dope personalized piece. It's something that I really like to do for our healers that work all year long and don't really, you know, seem to receive much recognition or appreciation. And so that's what we do here with Less Nobody. So you guys can go on the website. You can nominate as many healers as you want. It's free to nominate and it's free to be nominated. You know, so get your list. I have so many categories from DJs to business owners to podcasters to Reiki healers and astrologers. If anybody want to nominate me, please, because I don't nominate myself. So every year that I've won something, I've won it because people have nominated me and voted for me. So that means a lot to me. And thank you guys for nominating me last year, the year before that. You know, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the love and the recognition you guys have given me for, you know, what I do. I love what I do. I love what I do. Okay. I'm also teaching a mineralogy course where I'm going to teach like the basics of crystals. This will be from November 14th to November 17th. Is a 4-day course. From 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. I try to catch y'all in y'all after work hours or right before y'all about to go to an event or whatever. What I'm basically doing is I want to teach y'all, you know, the basic principles of crystals, stones, and metals from a geology science class standpoint, how to identify them, the points, the bonds, the different kind of bonds, the softness, the hardness, you know, pairing them together, different things like that. And I'm not just going to do crystals and stones. I'm also doing metals. A lot of us get caught up on copper and copper alone. That could be detrimental at, you know, just off the strength that copper is good for circulation and circulatory events. So if you have too much circulation going on, you can be overactive. You can get overactive energy. So like I want to show y'all other metals that y'all could use, you know. And then I also want to get into classifications of what y'all different names, how they classified, how they group. So when you're in a space, even if you don't know the exact name of the crystal you're looking at, you can look at the color, you can look at the softness and the hardness of it, and you can get an idea of what kind of EMF that stone or that metal is going to give off without even knowing the name. You can make up a fucking name for the stones. You can call the stones whatever you want, you know. Every stone I have, regardless if they all a piece, they all got their own name, because even with the points on them and how they're shaped gives them a different kind of energy. And we're going to get into all of that. And then in step 3, the third step that I want to teach y'all in this class is I want to teach y'all how to cleanse, store, and utilize them. When y'all making y'all jewelry, you know, I see a lot of people matching, you know, and the colors look really dope. But like if we under a water moon, if we under an air moon and you mix in, you know, water and fire on a handpiece, on the same one handpiece, like, you know, that could cause some issues for the wearer, especially if the wearer is very in tune with self and energies. You know, the more sensitive the wearer, the more detail oriented you have to be. And so I want to, you know, not all your customers is going to be easily satisfied customers, especially as you start to elevate your shit. You're going to start making pieces or being present for other healers that know they shit. So you really going to have to be on your square. So I want to show y'all how to do that, how to make, you know, jewelry, how to wear them on your hands, on your fingers, and on your toes, and what different body parts to wear them on and stuff. Because like, if y'all was listening when I was doing the planetary forecast, I was telling you what body parts the planets rule over. So if you're looking on your natal chart and, you know, Venus rules over your eyes and your eyesight, and your Venus just will happen to be in Virgo, you might want to put some, you know, might want to put some blue stones over your heart. You know, you might want a piece like that. Stuff like that. Be mindful of. That's all I got. Anyway, in addition, I got a few classes coming up, and then we're gonna get up out of here. I also got the herbal studies with Sunshine Monet L, which is me. That's from November 28th to December 1st. Mind you, all these tickets you could purchase on my website, letsnobodiescollection.com. Go to the events tab. This herbal study course is still 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. next month from the 28th to December 1st. I'm a certified herbalist. What I want to help teach y'all, these will be, you know, introductory concepts that we're going to do in 4 days, but I want to teach y'all keywords and key concepts of herbs. You know, what's the mindset behind the herbs, which is essentially the same thing as the mindset behind the crystals, you know, EMFs and healing versus destruction, because what herbs work for me might not work for you, or you might be allergic to. Does that mean the herb doesn't work? No, it's not a one size fits all. Just like no medication is a one size fits all. No herb, no plant, no vegetable, no fruit is a one size fits all, because our taste buds are different, because our allergens are just different, because our EMFs are different. Okay, so we got to keep that in mind, and that's what I want to show y'all on day 1. And then on day 2, I want to show y'all how to identify herbs. There's basic ways to identify herbs, just like there's basic ways to identify crystals. Like, you know, the shape of the leaf on the herb will tell you what body part. If the flower looks like a brain, it's going to be probably something to do with your psychosis. If it, you know, if you got veins on it and it look like a heart, it's probably going to be something to help with your circulation or some cardiac diseases or whatever. And I want to teach y'all that with different visuals and stuff like that, how to identify these herbs and their basic healing properties, even if you don't know the name of them. So if you're ever outside, you can do that. And then I want to teach y'all how to prepare herbs to heal. You know, somebody coming to you and they need certain something, like, you know, if I got a cut, I don't want no fucking tincture. I don't want that. I want a butter. I want a poultice. I want y'all to be able to know which each preparation is, the definition of the preparations, and what preparations is used for what. Because on day 4, we're going to do applications where I'm going to give you cases, and I want y'all to give me the remedies for these cases. And this course, just like the mineralogy course, we're going to end with a certification from Less Nobodies. You will have a certificate saying you finished it. I will have like a whole program showing the outside outline of my course. So if you come across any professionals that want to question what exactly did my course entail, what knowledge you have, if you decide to go apply for a job and say you got a certification in this and that, I can provide that for you. All right. And mind you, this is a rubric. So you could pay for the class and think you about to half-ass show up and get a certification. You won't. You will be graded. Because I want to make sure that when y'all receive a certificate from me, y'all really did the work. Y'all really showed up and y'all really understand what's going on. All right. And if the class needs to be more than 4 days for some of you guys, because you just aren't getting it, then that's what it needs to be. That's okay. I'm at peace with that, which is why I only put them for 4 days. And then we can do one-on-ones together, or do different groups together, you know, for those who need help catching up, or some people that have crazy schedules and stuff like that. We definitely will make space for that as the days get closer. We'll probably make space for that more so in December as I get ready for the Cosmic Nobodies University. I'll be doing a 6-month program with y'all. Yeah. So and this last but most certainly not least, this last course is making your own tarot cards. This course will come with a certification as far as you being a certified tarot reader and really knowing the ins and outs of the symbols on the different tarot cards, what they mean, and how you can put the symbols together on your own to create your own tarot cards. And I would highly suggest, if you take this course, that you go on Amazon.com and you purchase your own deck of blank cards, the size to your liking, prior to this class beginning. Or if you got index cards, or if you want to take some, you know, some paper, cardboard or whatever, or you just want to take notes. I really get into symbols, colors, numerology, gematria, zodiacs, chakras, all the symbols that you see on everyday tarot cards that you read now. We're going to get into that, so you can, you know, mix and match them however you like on your own personal tarot cards. So by the end of this course, you will have your own tarot cards. And I believe that this course is 2 weeks, because we're really going to get into all the ins and outs of things. All right. And these are all just pre-courses that's going to lead up to our Cosmic Nobodies University. And that's all I have for y'all. I thank y'all for tapping into my planetary forecast. I'm going to play this video. And yeah, that's it. Peace, y'all.
Heathstone. The same.
abundant. I bring to existence all that I want, and I done tapped into the God in me. Cut my locks off and switched up the vibe in me. Like how I manifest within, how I choose to defend. Who I label my friends, how I make amends. Cause I'm choosing laughter, it's peace that I'm after. I abracadabra, then poof, chakras blast off. My soul take this cast off, projection surpassing. Obsidian protection in case this trip lasts long. I see with 3 eyes, that's why my crown headstrong. Corona is viral to spirits living dead wrong
I just
vibration.
wanna chill around positive vibes. Nothing negative, it will fuck up my vibe. I just wanna sit back and chill and just sip wine. I came from a dark place, now I'm living in light. Came from a dark place, yeah, now I'm moving with the light. Yeah, now I'm like making moves. Yeah, I be always on the flights. Yeah, I be on a mission for the bank nowadays. Why these niggas hating on a nigga nowadays? I've been on a mission with the light nowadays. I ain't fucking with the darkness nowadays.